Hey everybody, long time no see. It has been a while. I feel like it's been forever since I've created a video, but it's been a while. Life be lifing over here, so, but I'm here today, whatever it may be. I'm gonna work in my reading journal, so a little bit of collage work. I will say this, I'm nervous about this thing. If you have been following along, you probably saw my first video when I first started it, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to fill this up. And, you know, I wasn't too concerned about the size of it, but it's pretty chunky right now. I mean, like, literally chunky. And I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is I feel like I'm about to run out of pages. And I say that because I have been reading like crazy. I think I'm up to like 101 books or 102 books or whatever. Now, the disclaimer on that is some of them are graphic novels, so they're shorter. Some of them have been shorter YA or juvenile fiction. So there is that. But some of them have been pretty lengthy. Majority of them have been audiobook. But I've consumed them. So, with that, I'll show you where I'm at with it. So I recently did the 24-hour readathon, the end of August, 1st of September. And so some of that I did, like, this is a book, this is a book, this is a book, this is a book. I tried to kind of clump them all together because I realized I was running out of space and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying not to stress about it. But I have, some of the books I've done, like this was 4 books, but it was a series. I read them on different days. I finished them on different days, but I just did them in one spread instead of doing a page for each book. Kind of the same way with the most recent one, Handmaid's Tale. I listened to the audiobook and I read the graphic novel. And so I just made a big one-page a big spread about it. I really could have done just a 1 page, but I just had so many pieces that I really wanted on this page. This image, this image, this image, all these little bits that I was like, oh, that would be perfect on a Handmaid's page, and so it ended up being 2 pages, which I'm okay with that because it's technically 2 books. So that's where I'm at right now. And that was finished on September 6th and September 7th. And today is like the 25th, 26th, 24th, 25th, 26th. It's a Friday the 26th, I believe. So with that, since then, I have read, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How did I get 6 and a half, 7 fingers? Okay, so since Handmaid's Tale, I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more books. So, and I feel like I'm running out of space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that gets me through what I've got finished and printed out through basically the end of September, because October's next week. And maybe I do have plenty of pages. because I do have quite a few pages here. It just was getting really thin and I was getting really nervous. So I'm just going to have to be very aware and not do, because you know, if you'll remember, when I first started, I was doing 2-page spreads. And I mean, really getting into them because I just was really, I really was into it. And I'm still into this, don't get me wrong. I just, all my bits and bobs and stickers and pieces are kind of scattered around my space right now. And so when I sit down to create a page, I mainly want to make sure I get a copy of a picture of the cover. And then I just kind of work around from there. So they may just be real simple spreads and all that. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes they've been pretty detailed, but sometimes they are simply, and again, I'm okay with that. So, with that, I've just got to be really aware of my space. So, all that to be said, I'm going to work on a couple of spreads tonight. And so this will probably be a lengthy video, again, because I haven't been here making videos in a while. And I feel a little out of sorts, and I think that's just life lately. And so my friend Mary Ellen's she's making videos, bravo to her. And they're just simple, just showing up videos. And I need to do that as well, but I honestly need to be showing up for my art, for myself, for you guys, you know, all that good stuff. And I just, again, life be lifing over here. So, but I've been keeping up with it. I've got a list of the books that I've read, the dates that I've finished them, and I've been printing out bits and pieces and things like that. So I really kind of need to go through so the first one I'm going to do today is Love and Saffron. And I've just been piling things in here. So let me just set this aside. And let's just spread out what we've got. This is a Love and Saffron. So that's saffron, by the way. That's saffron flower. Let me just see what I've got in my bucket here. I've got some pieces that are not being used because I haven't finished the books, or I DNF the books or whatever. This is for another book I've got on my brain. So Love and Saffron was finished on September 7th. And then we've got Genderqueer was finished on the 9th. So I haven't finished this book, and I don't know that I'm going to. I'm so back and forth about it. I've printed out all the pieces for it, but I'm really back and forth about it. Same with this, The Raven Boys. Let me see here. I'm not 100% sure I might go back to those. I haven't DNF'd them officially, but they've just kind of I'm not going to do this right now kind of thing. So these are going to go back in the bucket. Same with The Hounding. Here's another Idaho piece. I'm going to set this one aside for right now. And then this tarot one, setting it aside. Same with On Tyranny, the graphic novel. So y'all are like, why you got all these things? Well, so I do a lot of audiobook on my phone, on my Kindle app, through my library. And here's the Love and Saffron. And I scroll through, and a lot of times the book is not available. And so I had to put it on hold, and you know, I put it on hold, and forever, it sits on hold forever and a day. And then then they like all come available at once. And it's like, so sometimes I have them on on hold and they come available and it's like, yep, I'm going to read that. And then I get sidetracked and I don't. Excuse me, I've got the sneezies. And so I may be working on printing some stuff off and I might just print a bunch of stuff off. And then for whatever reason, I don't end up reading that book or whatever. And so, I wonder why I cut this out. What book does this tell me that it goes with? I don't know that it does. So I'm just going to set it aside for now. But anyways, I print these out when I come across them. And then I may or may not finish the book, or I may end up with, a ton in my library checkouts, and then decide, I got to get rid of some of these because I found something else came available that I really wanted to read or something like that. I'm literally just rambling, so y'all just bear with me. I'm rambling and trying to sort these. If you are wondering what I'm doing and why it's taken me a minute to chit chat. I wonder why I printed that out. What does that go with? I didn't print that out. It's a magazine. Does it match any color scheme I got going on here? I could do it for that. I might have too much going on there though. We're just going to tuck it up here. For one reason or another, I put it in there. So, all that to be said, Love and Saffron and Genderqueer are the two I'm going to work on for sure tonight. So, and then what's next? I'm going to put these kind of in an order. Genderqueer, to be taught if fortunate. Chlorine. That was an interesting book. Chlorine by Jade Song. Very interesting book. I Am the Swarm. Ghost Roast, which was a graphic novel. Punching the Air. The Penguin Lessons was a cute little... so if you're doing the Herkhead Challenge, which is the hardest reading challenge you ever did, one of the prompts is around the world is Antarctica. And this was a fun little nonfiction book set in Antarctica. I think. No. South America. Argentina. My bad. I was thinking of another book for my Antarctica, but Argentina, South America. So yeah. I've got, dang it. So I've got 2 writing books here. Zen and the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury. And then I've got, which I'm going to put that before this one. I'm just going to plunk it right here. I got a lot for it, but I've also finished On Writing by Stephen King. I just finished that one up. And so, what I don't use for Zen, I'll carry over to the Stephen King one. Okay, here's my little stash of what's to come. I'm going to set that one up there. And, so we are functioning on Love and Saffron. Here's the cover of the book by Kim Fay. a novel of friendship and food. And I had this little print off. It's quite possible this came from Cindy over at Studio Lou. She does a monthly journal kit, journal with me kit of all sorts of fun pictures and images each month on her Patreon. And it's possible these two lovely ladies came from that. I'm not sure. It was a mustache, and it reminded me of the two ladies in this book. This was an epistolary book, so it's a writing back and forth between two ladies who formed a friendship. So, two strangers, one recipe, a friendship for the ages. I don't know why I have two copies of that. And so, yeah, here's the and. Another problem with this book getting so thick is that it doesn't lay flat. Although, I think I probably could. I don't know that that will help me any. Yeah. Well, that might work. So we have this that I was thinking of for a background. And then here's some seasonings. I don't know which way they go, so I don't know. And then here's the cover of our book. Maybe we'll come down here. Two strangers, one recipe, friendship for the ages. Maybe we'll do something like that. This might be too much. I think I printed this out because my other book journal that I'm doing, that's my reading journal where I'm keeping up with what I'm reading and the different challenges I'm doing. This correlates with one of the challenges, so I think that's where that came into play. I printed off two. One for that journal. So let's just go ahead and lay this down. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so I have room for that banner. So this book is epistolary, and of course it's about a recipe. And one of the prompts in the Herked Challenge, this is from the Herked Challenge, the first one, is to read a book with a recipe in it, not a cookbook, but a book with a recipe in it, and make that recipe. And so this book has a recipe for a one-bean salad that's kind of like a dip, like a Mexican, almost like a salsa type dip with a bean in it, with pinto beans as a star. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a video of it. The video will be on my other channel, but that's the recipe I pulled out of here, is the one bean salad. I'm kind of not really nervous about it, but it's a real simple recipe, but it's got nopales, it's got cactus bits in it, which I think you can get those at the store in the Spanish or Mexican section. I think. I haven't studied it. But I don't know. If I can't find them, I'm just probably going to use like green chilies or something, like canned green chilies. I know I can find those. So that will be interesting because nopales, I'm probably not saying that right, is cactus, and I don't think I've ever tried cactus. So that will be interesting and fun to try. So again, I'll be doing that. Maybe I want to do this. And I don't know why I want that and sign there, but I do. Do we like the big one? Or do we like the little one? I think I like the big one. See, my collages have gotten to be like real simple, and I'm okay with that. I just want to grab the essence of the book. Okay. Now again, I have these bits. I could I don't know which way this goes. Like, one of them looks like it's supposed to be this way, but one of them looks like it's supposed to be that way. So, I don't know. And I could trim it down a little bit more. And do, like, but now this off to the side by itself doesn't really look like seasonings. But I kind of like that. Just adds a little something to it. Need to straighten that up. I don't know that I've ever had saffron either. Saffron. I mean, I haven't had it in that form that I know of. From what I understand, just from my little knowledge about it, I think it's pretty expensive. So, which is probably why I've not had it. And I don't know if it's one of those things that you can find in the seasonings, that, you know, in the McCormick aisle or what. I haven't really studied it, but I think, and the one being, one bean salad, I don't think it has saffron in it. It was just a recipe that was in the book, because again, this is a letter back and forth, and they talked about different foods and things like that. So September 7th. We're gonna go right here with that. Perfect. Okay. I like that. I'm okay with that. Next on the list, we'll set this aside in the box. Next on the list is, mark that off so I don't get confused. Genderqueer, which is a graphic novel. Graphic novel memoir. What is the name? Maya Kobabe. I don't even know if I would need this, because that's the same as that. I just wanted to print off I really liked that loop-de-loop. Maybe I put this in the center and I cut this up and put these around it. Maybe that's what I'll do. Save that, we might need it. Okay, if we put that in the center-ish, we put this here, and then we find our little scissors, and we do some choppy chop on this. Let's try to salvage as much as we can with this. Try to salvage the little blurbs of writing. And hopefully we don't have to separate these two, but we'll see where they fit. I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to separate them. Well, I'm not sure I like this now. Let's see. Let's get some word blurbs going on and see if we can. Maybe we'll just decorate with all these other little bits and bobs. I don't know that I'll need these little bits, but let's just cut them out just in case. So we'll have them. Okay, now let's see what we're working with. First off, let me check and make sure you guys are in screen. I'm just doing my own thing here, and yep, you're in screen. Good deal. Okay. Do that there. And this lady here. This here. What do you think? Probably need something else. I think this is too much, though. We can tuck that under there. Hide her foot. Just as a... What do you think about that? Or... Yeah, she's really kind of too big to be there. She takes up a lot of space. But, I think I'm just gonna go for it. Yep, I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna start gluing some things down and see what happens. See what happens. Where's my glue stick? Okay, where's the glue stick? I've got one open. Really, Shell? Are you so far out of practice that... There we go. I was like, are you so far out of practice that you can't even keep up with your glue stick? It's quite possible. Again, I feel like it's been forever since I've been on camera with you guys. I gotta get back into routine. October is right around the corner, and October is typically a wonky month for me. Just busy with a lot going on, and that's just been history for me for October. And this October is doing its thing. I am quickly running out of weekend time, quickly running out of... Oh, I meant to put that there. I'm just quickly running out of time, of empty calendar holes in October. Which I suppose that is good, but it doesn't help me get ready for November is Junk Journal Round Robin. Yes, you heard it here first, folks. I don't know if you heard it here first, but you've heard it here. My friends Cindy and Mary Ellen in Canada and I all three do a... This is so crooked. We all three do a Junk Journal Round Robin. We've been doing it... I know the last year or so, but maybe 2 years now. I don't know. It kind of runs together because we do it twice a year, in April and in November. And at the current moment, my brain can't remember when we started that. But that's back in November, is Junk Journal Round Robin. And if you've been here a little while, or if you follow, like I said, Cindy or Mary Ellen... Cindy is at Studio Lou and Mary Ellen's at Red Parrot. If you follow either of those, or if you've been here a while, you have surely seen the Round Robin videos come through. April and in November. For the whole month, we do a video a day. So you end up with 3 videos from us for the day. 3 videos to watch. And we do this little kind of scrap junk swap. And we open those. It's kind of in an advent form. Each day we open our little packets from each other. And we create with whatever the other 2 have sent. One of these days, we will get down the little elevator spiel about it. I think we stumble over how to explain it, like every time it comes around to time to explain it. But it's a whole heck of a lot of fun. And it's fun for you guys to watch, and it's fun for you guys to follow along, and you know, do your own kind of thing. And it's beyond fun for all 3 of us. It is just I don't know how to explain it. It's just fabulous. And we all 3 we fell in love with it the first time we did it. And we're like, yeah, that's totally gonna happen again. And we have continued it. And even with all that's going on right now with tariffs and shipping and all that good stuff, we have managed, again, it's the end of September. We have managed to exchange our packages already because we weren't sure what October into November was going to look like. And so we just wanted to make sure we go ahead and hopefully not, but if this is our last hurrah, we wanted to make sure we didn't run into mailing delays and things like that with everything going on. So right now it's kind of hard to ship things from Canada to US and US to Canada. And both of them are in Canada and I'm down here in the US, and there was a little delay of them getting their packages to me, but I think we're all good now. Mary Ellen and Cindy live fairly close, so they'll just do a little face-to-face exchange or whatever. Or they may mail them, I don't know. But we wanted to make sure the US and the Canada got exchanged before November. So all that to be said, I got my packages in this week, and I'm super duper duper excited and ready to jump into this. But we got to get through October first, and October is kind of wonky, crazy busy. So, but we'll get there. Okay, what do we got here? Genderqueer was finished on September 9th. Oh, I really feel like Zen in the Art of Writing should be like right here, but we're going to just go with this. This is not a perfect book, and we have some other back and forth dates, so we're just going to go with it. September 9th. Okay. How am I on time? Because I knew I wanted to get 2 done. Oh, okay. We're pretty okay. Maybe I can do one more. The next one I'm going to do is the Zen and the Art of Writing. Let me fix that a little bit. And this is by Ray Bradbury. If any of you guys know classics, Ray Bradbury is one of those classic writers. So I've got a lot of pieces for this. They're magazine clippings and all that. They're Zen-ish, they're writing-ish. So we'll just see what we're going to do. First off, I know I need to grab a hair bow. I need to get my hair out of my face. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. I usually function with my hair up in a hair bow or hair pony, but I didn't do that before I sat down, and it was starting to affect me. Okay. Zen and the Art of Writing, Ray Bradbury. I read this one. Again, this is the one I don't know that I read when I read it. I'll have to look it up, but I can't look it up on my phone because you're on my phone. Okay, I really like this. It's a quilt. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a picture of a quilt. I think. Yes, because it's from a fiber quilting magazine or whatever. I really like that. And I almost am tempted to just do that. But I have this big, beautiful quill that I've printed out. I say quill. I guess it's a quill. It's from the cover. And also, let me just play around with this real quick. I've got the Stephen King book on writing. Let me just play around with this and see if I need to use one of these for that. Okay, I got this. Okay, maybe I'll do all that for him. Set you right there, Mr. Stephen King. I've got this. I really like this. My question is does this speak writing to me? Or not? I mean, it's ink and a feathered pen, and I really just like this. I know that's so simple. Okay, let's take this out of the equation and see what else we have to play with. We have this, which is our stacked rocks Zen. This is an image out of a magazine. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got the symbols, Buddhist symbols, Zen symbols is what I'm thinking of, is where I was going with that and why that's even incorporated. So I could do this. Sorry guys, I'm honestly having a bit of a hot flash right now. Whew. 'Tis the season. Could do something like that. Could do something like that. Do something like a little bit of it here, and a little bit of it down here. It's kind of like a cluster collage. Okay, let's do this. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper or whatever. That there. And then this here. And this big guy here. And this big guy there. What do you think? I think I need to trim that. The question is, how much do I trim? I think we'll just trim a little. So I like the blue behind it. So we'll do a wide border. And does that make me feel any different about these bits? Kinda, it does, but that's okay. I really like this though. Well, we'll put it aside because I have other writing books that are on my reading list. So maybe I can use it for another one. I'll just stick with the Zen part on this one. And we'll stick with big old Stephen King's head in the other one. See, I try to be precious about something and save it, and then when I'm ready and willing to glue it down, it doesn't go. Isn't that how it goes? Isn't that how it goes? I am so glad it is finally fall, and the weather is finally chilling out. I love fall. Unfortunately, here in Arkansas, we don't get a very long fall. So I've learned to not get too attached to it. If that makes any sense. I love it, but I don't get too attached to it because it like comes and goes. And like fall is here. We're in the very first days of fall. And it's like one of those things like, don't talk about it because then it'll be gone. And we'll be in winter, which I'm a huge fan of winter. Hardcore winter fan. So I'm okay that it goes fast because it goes fast into winter. And I love winter. But that being said, I do love fall. I just don't get too attached to it because we don't have a really long fall here in Arkansas. So it's like just as we start getting used to it and be like, oh, I love fall, then we turn around and it's winter. So if that makes any sort of sense. Now, I'm not going to put a date on this one yet because I don't know for sure. I'm going to have to look, like I said, on my phone. But I'm okay with that. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. The next one, you're probably thinking, why are you not giving much reviews about these? I really, this one, if you're a writer or creative, I highly recommend. I mean, they were okay. This one I highly recommend. This one, I'm not really much into science fiction and space stuff. And I don't recall why I read this, but it's probably for some prompt. And it was interesting to read this because I kept thinking of Atmosphere. Which is, they're totally different books. But if you like these kind of books, then yeah, sure. It's been 50 years since we left Earth. If you read nothing else we've sent home, please at least read this. So that kind of tells you the dystopian type science stuff going on there. To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. If we do that, I think I like that. I think I'm going to dig around and see if I can find some background paper. And so I think I'm going to bump off of here and do that. And we're almost at, it looks like almost at 50 minutes. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to find some cool background paper, some spacey background paper. Where did my other one go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, come on. I just had it. All right. Somewhere in here, there it is. So I'm going to find some cool spacey background paper or whatever to give this a little bit more. And then this is what I'll do with this. That was finished on September 10th. So anyways, I'm not going to let you guys hang on while I dig around and find the perfect paper. But I did want to come on here, and gosh, I feel like I rambled about a bunch of random stuff, and that's what you get. So thanks for joining me as I played around in this. As you can tell, I've got a lot of catch up to do, and fingers crossed I don't run out of paper before I finish the year. Because I don't know what I'm going to do if that's the case. If you have any suggestions, I am open to suggestions as to what to do if I read more books than what I have paper for. It's getting kind of thin. So anyways, thanks for joining me. And if you read any of these books, be sure and let me know. Any of the books I've read. If you read them, be sure and let me know what you think. And I will be back soon enough. Again, October's a little wonky for me, but I'm trying to get back into my art space, and so I'm trying to be more here. Life be lifing, but when you're art, and for me, it just makes life a lot easier to be lifing. So whatever sense that made. Thanks for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.